you've attracted two partners to yourself. Some people can't even get one, girl. So
it's kind of wild, right?
Gold
I have
star.
the most like divine masculine and feminine of like sort of the same astrological makeup.
Astrology will tell you how compatible two people are, whether or not they should be monogamous, polyamorous, non-monogamy.
Yeah.
There's specific placements that you look for in a birth chart that'll show you these things.
Okay, so let's dive into this because this is really what I would love to like hear about.
Yeah.
What are those placements? And yeah, I mean, you hear all the time like you need polarity in relationship, but you also need like complementary things to happen. So can you like walk us through what
Hell yeah.
an ideal sort of match looks like?
Yes. So in astrology, just in order to have like a really genuine, good, successful relationship, it's recommended to have good moon placements and good Jupiter placements.
Okay.
Because the moon represents what Freud would call the id, the unconscious response, your instincts, your emotional wellness. So how emotionally fulfilled are you in your relationship? Now, the other side, Jupiter, that's the planet of morals, philosophy, dreams, wishes. What are you trying to get out of life? So if you have two people that are emotionally fulfilled together and also like dreaming of the same kind of lifestyle, that's number one.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about like, do your sexual rhythms line up all the time? Are you compatible in the terms of how you communicate? It's about how fulfilled do you feel? And are you on the same page philosophically?
Right.
So if we're talking about open relationships now, we throw this planet Uranus in there. So anytime someone has strong Uranus placements in the 11th house or Aquarius placements, that's going to make them more open.
Okay.
So in your birth chart, Uranus aspects the moon. So you need a lot of independence emotionally. You don't want to be suffocated. And you're an Aquarius.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just explain from your point of view as an Aquarius, what does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. The independence thing has been such a strong sort of part of my life. I think even since I was a child, just I like needed to be, my sovereignty, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't have that in previous relationships, right? Because I was kind of shuffling in that realm. And when I met my husband, he really gave me space, and I can
Which
sense,
you loved.
which I loved.
Your
It made me
birth
like
chart.
it made me like want him more. And then I was like, initially I was like, I don't want to be committed. I just got out of a series of really bad, serious monogamous relationships, long-term relationships. But he drew me in by giving me freedom. And it's been like the most beautiful dance because I have this safety and security of, our foundation, our relationship.
Yeah.
But then I live really the way that I want to, like in our relationship, not without considering him, but I've traveled the world. We would have a lot of time apart, which I really enjoy because it makes me actually appreciate him and like want to spend time with him.
So Aquarius.
Yeah. Like I could be gone for 6 weeks. Now it's hard and I miss him, but that gives me the
Something
air
to
and
look
the
forward
breathing
to.
room. Yeah, and something to look forward to come home to. Yeah. So, I mean, we're wildly independent. We have very different interests. My husband is, very much like, he's a real estate investor. So he's all business.
That's very Taurus. He's bringing a lot of that to you as well.
Absolutely. And I love it. And like, I think my Leo also likes like really nice things. Cause I would like live in a van. I would like travel the world in a van. And he's like, we will have a big home with lots of nice things and we will live a bougie life.
You've got Uranus and Sagittarius. So Uranus, let's explain that planet a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the planet of chaos, unpredictability. It's the trickster archetype. So Sagittarius is the world traveler. So you living in a van, like you have no problem like getting a little rough and rowdy.
No,
and
I love it.
Just being a nomad. But that's going to show up in your relationships as well. Like you either need somebody who can travel with you and be like, okay, giving you space when you want to go check something out and then come together. Or you need somebody who's okay with you just going.
Yeah.
Like
he loves it.
There you go.
He's like, I'll be here. Great. Actually, before we were married already. Talking about the idea of kids like 5 years ago, I said, if we are to have kids, because I was really on the fence. I actually didn't think it was for me in this lifetime. And then I woke up like a year ago and had extreme baby fever and it hasn't gone away. But I said, I want to travel with you for 6 months, uninterrupted travel. We're traveling the world. We're going to save a bunch of money and we're just going to take off and do it. And
oh my God.
We had a huge negotiation, but I essentially ended up with 3 months. He committed to 3 months. And so the plan is, as we're attempting to get our surrogate pregnant, which will be very soon, we're going to take off for 3 months. And so he, like, I'm like, there's a little part of me that's like, is he going to want to kill me from this trip? But he is so easy, actually. Like he's fine kind of sitting at a cafe, or I'm sure he'll work on the road. So like staying like in our Airbnb or whatever, and I'll go explore. He'll do a little bit of exploring with me. Because actually Aquarius is his rising sign. So it works. Like once I get him and he has the bug, then he's like, oh, this is super fun. Let's do it. But he can be, a bit tethered to his lifestyle. I would love to share with you that at Open Late, we created a dictionary of terms. So you never have to wonder if you're mixing up polyamory and polygamy, because they mean two very different things. And what do you call it when you're in a relationship with a dude, but you like to go down on girls sometimes? We've got you covered. I think that language is the most vital part of who we are as a culture. And communicating in our relationships ultimately leads to more successful, wow, Freudian slip, and happy and fulfilling relationships overall. So make sure you get your free copy of the Open Late Dictionary today.
What's his moon sign?
His moon is in Virgo.
He was born on the full moon.
Yeah.
So that's usually makes somebody a little bit more sexual, a little bit more wild. It can lead to neuroticism if not properly channeled.
That's so my husband. But no, he's very sexual and like very like, that was the thing that I think drew us to each other. It was like a combustion of like unleashing a lot of like kink and power dynamics.
Well, you've got that Venus and Mars and Aries, so you want to throw down.
Yeah.
So, and Pisces, that's my sign. So it's the sign of orgasms.
Really? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Aquarius is the sign of like open relationships or like exploration, orgies, trying new things, innovation sexually. Pisces is just about like the spiritual act of orgasm.
Whoa.
And they like a lot of pleasure and sensuality, but like orgasm for Pisces, that's like the epitome of the experience for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for all signs, but let me just say I can go quite a few times myself. So I think the most record I had with one partner within a 7-hour span was 9 times.
Oh my God, good for you.
But it's Pisces. Like it's a Pisces quality.
Yeah. Well, that's like Lauren, actually.
There you go. See? So, but it's because it's the last sign of the zodiac. In French, they call orgasm le petit mot, which means the little death. So it's the idea that Pisces can just like it's surrendering to the experience. Whereas maybe in Aquarius, it's a little bit harder for you to surrender that way. You need mental stimulation. There needs to be like, maybe put some music on to help you relax a little bit.
Oh yeah. Like I cannot actually, the idea of like having sex or any kind of like sexual act without music is like terrifying.
Really? Well, the complete terrifying, silence.
Like I need something.
Yeah. Whereas a Pisces, we're like, let me just crawl into your soul. And
it's so true. I'm like, what are we doing? Put music on and like candles and like talk dirty to me. Like I need it all. I like a lot of stimulation in that way.
I was working with a client who is a Gemini and we were matching her with an Aquarius. And I said, if you want to have good sex with him, you have to have music on because he'll be in his head the whole time otherwise. So maybe you can go a little bit into like the cerebral aspect of sex and how you almost need to distract yourself so that you can enjoy it.
Wow, that's so interesting the way that you kind of shared about your client, because that's what will happen to me. And I never understood why.
Yeah.
Like, if there's not a lot of sort of sensory things happening, I will start to go into like what I forgot about. And I forgot to put the clothes in the dryer. And oh my God, I need to make that appointment. And shit, I didn't send that email. And I will totally slip into like work mode. And I'll be aware of it and I'll come back to it. And it's so interesting because like when I'm having sex with Pasha, it's very different. and he's a man. So I can't be like, oh my God, remind me to do that because I made that mistake. And he's like, are you kidding me right now?
Well,
Did you just tell me to remind you to text your mom back like while I'm inside of you? But when I'm with Lauren, I think because we're both women and there's no like, there's not an erection that's like going to go down if I start talking about like a mom or something. Like we can be in bed for hours and sort of get lost and get confused and work our way around, but they are very similar. And I think probably having the same birthday.
Pisces. What day is their birthday?
March 17th.
Oh, so they're on the cusp of Aries. Mm-hmm. That's really close to your Venus and Mars placement. And it's on your Lilith placement, which is the placement of like naughty, kinky sexuality.
Okay.
Because you've got Lilith and Pisces right on the cusp of Pisces and Aries.
Interesting.
So the sex with them is great.
It's amazing.
Like it's going to be deeply fulfilling. Mm-hmm. You've attracted 2 partners to yourself. Some people can't even get one, girl. So
it's kind of wild, right?
Gold
I have
star.
like, the most like divine masculine and feminine of like sort of the same astrological makeup. I'm glad that you're enjoying Open Late podcast in this way. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss one. And check out this next video for more tips, insights, and my expertise on non-monogamy and polyamory. If you want full episodes, you can find them wherever you download your podcasts.